Sexual harassment is a form of harassment involving the use of explicit or implied sexual overtones, including an inappropriate or unsuitable offer of incentive in return for sexual favors. It may come from a coworker, boss, customer, or client, and may range from unwelcome contact, offensive remarks, or jokes. It may also look like teasing, threatening, or insulting remarks based on the stereotypes, or harassing someone or the group of people on the basis of their sex or gender identity. The practice of sexual harassment is centuries old. Sexual coercion, for example, was an entrenched characteristic of chattel slavery suffered by African American women without legal safeguards. Women working in industrial or clerical roles in the late 19th and early 20th century often point to a number of ways in which men have placed sexual relations, from attack to all sorts of unwelcome physical or verbal advances on women who have worked for them.
Sexual harassment may happen because of some reason, such as indecent dressing. For example, if the victim wears skimpy or transparent clothes, it may cause the sexual emotion to the harasser. The exposure to sexual materials that are accessible to any internet browser may also lead to a desire for the harasser to perform the sexual act. Then, what is the impact of all this action? The victim may experience the negative effect, which they may suffer from depression, anxiety, post-traumatic stress disorder, sleep problem, physical aches and pain, and even in some cases, they commit suicide because they feel that the harassment is their fault and they blame themselves for the action.
To avoid this nagging problem, Islamic law has made a provision on matters that relate to sexual harassment. One way of dealing with the problem is the desacralization of the institution of marriage and prevention of celibacy. Apart from this, severe punishment awaits those who commit fornication, which is the objective of sexual harassment. Similarly, Allah has ordained the believers, male and female, alike to lower their guards and control their sexual organ in such a way that would not lead them to sexual sins, nor should they stare at the opposite sex in such a way as to cause sexual harassment. This shows that it is not allowed of Muslims to put unsafe loose in the heart and answer by any form of harassment.
System thinking approach focuses on how the antecedents and concomitants of harassment interacts with the process that produce unacceptable behavior, which is a part of workplace sexual harassment. For organizations to appropriately address sexually harassing behaviors, they should regularly conduct confidential assessments of sexual harassment and workplace climate across all employees. The effort can alert organizations to the extent of the problem and provides them with an opportunity for early intervention. When employers understand the employees' perceptions of the organizational climate and its tolerance of harassment, they can better predict the likelihood that employees will engage in sexual harassment and the likelihood that harassed employees will report it promptly. Doing so provides the organization with an opportunity to demonstrate a commitment to protect the workers and reinforce that harassment will not be tolerated. Regular assessments can also provide concrete data on long-term trends and the nature and incidence of harassment, the effectiveness of training initiatives, and elimination of sexual harassment within the workplace.
Sex role spillover theory. This theory is based on the proportion of irrelevant gender-based role expectation that individuals bring to the workplace is in guiding their interaction with women. Men hold the role perception of women based on their traditional role in our culture. When a woman takes job outside of this traditional area to work in the male-dominated workplace, men rely on this gender-based expectation when interacting with women. Therefore, receiving women in their gender role over and above their work role the result of the inappropriate expected role is male behavior which fails to be sexual harassing. Therefore, men are more likely to sexualize their experience, including work experience, and are therefore more likely to make sexual remarks or engage in the sexualized behavior, thus accounting for the fact that women experience more sexual harassment than men.